friends and family. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing another get ready with me. I did start with primer already. And today's video, I'm going to be talking about times that I knew God was real. And of course, he's real every single day. But these are just specific times that he has just like either saved my life or I've just gotten so lucky to the point that I'm like, wow, like nothing else explains this besides God just showing me that he's real and that he's here. And so we'll just get right into it. So the first story that I have is that one time I was like probably, I was still in high school. I just heard a knock, but it's next door. It was, I think, in high school. I was definitely younger than 18. And around that time, I didn't have a car yet, so I would drive my friends' cars whenever they would let me. And so in this certain time and place, I was getting in the car to drive my friend's car. I think we were going to like get some food or something. So we're leaving his house and I'm driving, and I was trying to be funny because, you know, when you're young, you're stupid and you're irresponsible. And, you know, I was just being a normal teenager. And so then I get in the car and I'm like, oh my God, how funny would it be if I just full throttle on the gas, like backwards, and then everybody just like gets launched like this, you know? And I was like, oh my God, that'll probably be so funny and nobody would be expecting it. So that's exactly what I did. Okay. So I did that. And I remember when I did it, I did not even look. Because mind you, I'm learning how to drive. I don't know the precautionary rules of the road. I'm just, you know, as far as I know the blinker. I know to kind of look when I'm doing right and left. But in my head, it never clicked like, oh, maybe I should look when I reverse, right? So this is the ultimate life lesson that I got. So I reversed full throttle, just like I told you guys. I pressed on the gas and went. So picture, this is, I don't know how to explain it. Okay, but I'll just try to explain it to the best of my ability. So we're in the driveway, right, where the car is. So this is the house's driveway. This is the sidewalk, right? So this is the driveway of the house is where the car is. We're getting out this way. This is the sidewalk where people are walking through, and this is just like the regular street, right? So I reverse the car, I go super fast. And everybody's like, Maria, what the fuck? And I'm like, ha ha ha, got you guys. Right? So the car's here, sidewalk's here, street is here. So I go like this, car's on the street. Everybody's like, Maria, what the fuck? What up? This sidewalk right here, there was a family of 6, and I will never forget it because it was so traumatizing for me. So it was like the mom, the husband, and a kid. And then in the back, there was the grandma, the grandpa, and another kid. So it was the wife, the husband, a kid, and then the mom, the dad, like grandma and grandpa, and another kid. When I tell you guys that if these people would have been walking close together, or if like I literally missed them by like a few feet, and it was just like, oh my God, I have to be doing my makeup too. And it was just very fortunate of me that I literally hit reverse as soon as there was a gap in between them, because the family was together. They was just walking, and you know how when you're walking, you kind of walk separately, and then some of you are behind, some of you are ahead. Thank God there was that gap of space between like the first part of the family to the second part of the family sidewalk, because the car literally went straight through them. Like if they would have been together, like I could have literally killed not only a kid, but I could have literally killed like the grandma, the grandpa, God forbid the mom and the dad. Like that was so traumatizing. I'll always remember my reaction. I was like just in utter shock, and so were the people, because I got a good look at their face. I literally just hit reverse like, and then I remember just like looking, and I was like to the left to see the mom, the dad, and the kid, and then to the right to see the grandma, the grandpa, and the other kid. And I was just like, I was in utter shock. I was like, what just happened? Like, and of course, like my first instinct is like, oh my God, I have to get out of here. So whatever, I absorbed the shock for like a millisecond. Everybody in the car is going crazy. Maria, what are you doing? And then whatever, I was like, ha ha ha, it's so funny. And then whatever, the families are, and I just take a good look at him, and I'm like, whew, continue, right? I go, I'm a little kid, I'm not even gonna apologize. Like, you know, I'm just gonna drive away. And from that moment on, I never reversed without looking. That was so, I literally think about it every day. I'm like, I could have literally been in jail for the rest of my life if I would have killed one of those people. Like, and mind you, it was just like a millisecond of recklessness that was so stupid. Like, and that's exactly what happens to some people. Like, they just do stupid things when they're young, and then it literally just affects their whole future. And that was definitely one of those moments that I was like, that could have changed my whole life. If I would have killed one of those people that day, I would still be in jail for sure. So that was an insane, like, that was just like, God was with me in that moment. And it wasn't my time to go to jail. So that was a beautiful treat from God to me. And it was kind of like a warning too. It was like, Maria, like, this is a car, like, you're not operating, you know, a little toy. Like, you could actually kill people with this. And that was a crazy reality check, and I'm very thankful that I got to have that reality check, and I definitely learned my lesson. But that was a crazy story. Oh my God, like, that was so traumatizing, as it should be. Like, that was so irresponsible of me. But that was the very first one. After that, there was one time that I was a little tipsy. I'm not gonna lie to you, okay? I was a little tipsy, and I had just left hanging out with my friends. So where's the Q-tip I just used? I'll keep it here. So whatever, so I'm going home, right? And I like for my car to go vroom sometimes, because that's one of the reasons why I bought it, just because it goes vroom. And that's one of my favorite parts about the car. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't do it all the time, but when I do, it feels so good. It's just like, yeah, like, my car goes vroom. So it was one of those nights, you know, I'm a little tipsy, I'm on my way home, and so I make the car go vroom. And I remember I was like going pretty fast, and the car was going vroom. And I remember just feeling like I was going too fast. And I look at I think it's called speedometer. I think that's what I've heard people call it, but I don't know, I could be wrong. The little display that shows how fast you're going. And I remember I was like, I think I'm going a little too fast. And then I look at the thing and it says 120. And I was like, yeah, I should probably slow down. And there was nobody else on the street. So it was like, you can't really tell that you're going so fast, but I felt it. Like, the car was going, and I was like, maybe I'm going a little too fast. I checked the thing, it says 120. I was like, I should probably slow down. My car was slowing down. I was already at like 110. Like, I remember the last time I looked at the thing, it was like at 110. So I was already going down by like 10 miles. And mind you, I was gonna go down a lot. Like, that was enough. I was like, wait, I'm going a little too fast. As soon as I'm like by 110, 106, I hear the woo, woo, woo. I don't even know. It only happened to me one time. This is the first time I've ever been pulled over, ever. Cop lights. And it wasn't just a cop. It was a state trooper, guys. It was a state trooper. So he stops me. He goes, he didn't even tell me like, oh, do you know why I stopped you? No. He just goes, license and insurance. And I was like, of course. So I get my license. My insurance is on my phone because I don't have it printed in my car. And I was like, I hope it's okay. I don't have it printed or whatever. And he goes, yeah, it's fine. He goes to his car. He comes back and he's like, I just want to let you know that Florida has this new law that if you're going over 100 miles an hour, I can arrest you. And I knew that. But I was like, oh my God, officer, I'm so sorry. Like, it honestly wasn't my intention. Like, I was just trying to get home. Like, I'm just tired. I'm so sorry. Like, it was reckless, whatever. Mind you, this is where God and pretty privilege come into play. Because I swear, like, pretty privilege has made my life so much easier. And that's also why I tell everyone to invest in your looks. So he's just talking to me and he's like, yeah, just so you know, I could take you to jail. And to be honest, I think one of the reasons that helped me out so much is the fact that I was super calm throughout the whole thing. Like, I was never gonna lie to him and be like, I haven't been drinking. I was never gonna lie to him and be like, oh no, I wasn't going 120. Like, I was super calm. I was like, yeah, I was in the wrong. You can give me a ticket, you can arrest me. Like, I was super calm with whatever decision happened because I knew that God got me. Like, I remember when I saw the lights and when he pulled me over, I was just like, oh, well, it's just, that was really my thought. I was like, oh, well, I mean, like, I was going 120, like, what do I expect? Like, it was kind of like, well, whatever God wants. Like, if I'm meant to go to jail and if I'm meant to get a ticket, then I will, So that was my perspective on it before the cop even came. So I was super calm the whole time, calm, collected, and classy. And he probably saw that too, because if he would have seen that I was like a little drunk or like just, you know, slurring my words, then he probably wouldn't have let me off. But he talks to me and he's like, yeah, I know you just want to get home. You know, I was a teenager once. Oh, the light just died. Hold on. Let me fix it. He goes, I was a teenager once, and so I understand. I'm going to let you off with a warning this time. But, you know, let that be a lesson. Oh, it was a lesson, all right. It was so, not traumatizing, but like it just embedded. Like it was literally, I saw that as like God giving me a little warning, you know, because that could have gone way worse. And that was just God giving me a little warning, like, hey, Maria, you weren't really doing anything too bad, but be a little bit more precautious, you know? Let me turn on the light. Oh, did it break? I think my light just broke, guys. Okay, the light got fixed for now. I think the thing got overheated because it was really hot. So it may get overheated again, but you know, it doesn't matter. So yeah, that was that story. Luckily, I got off with a warning, and that warning has served its purpose. So thank you, God. I don't think that I ever see myself going 120 again, to be honest, unless it's like there's nobody and nothing on the road, like, you know, one of those like homestead streets where like, and not even, because that's exactly where the state troopers are, but I don't know. Definitely not in a sense where I would be putting anybody in danger. It'll have to be like a super empty road, and it would have to make sense for me to make the car go vroom. If not, I'm fine. I'd just rather be safe, to be honest. So another few times that I've known that God was real was, so I never stressed. And I think that's exactly why everything is currently working out in my favor all the time, constantly. So I was at Walmart one day, and I have a lot of things, so I can't go through like the fast self-checkout, whatever. I have to make the line, and then I'm in this huge line, and I'm not stressing because whatever, I don't like to stress. Like, what can I do about it? If I don't have any control over it, then there's no reason for me to be stressing about it. So whatever, I'm in this crazy big line, I have a bunch of stuff to do, and I'm just there super calm, hanging out. And then, mind you, there's a huge line at Walmart. You know how those lines are. And then the employee comes, and she's like, you come, I'm gonna open up the other line. And I was like, me? And she goes, yeah, you come. And I was like, oh, thank you. So I'm going through, and then the guy that was in front of me, he hears it, of course, and then he tries to cut off in front of me, and she turns around and she sees that, and she goes, no, I told her. And I was like, you told me? So yeah, that was super cute. I was like, wow, like God is so good. Like there was a huge line of people, and the fact that she chose me to start the line with, I was like, wow, like God just really just outdoes himself with me all the time. Like I am the luckiest girl, and I genuinely believe that. And I think that's why things are just like constantly like, they just, wow. I mean, that's a crazy story. Like, so yeah, that has been another time. That was a little bit of a more regular average case, but to be honest, it was such a blessing in that moment, and like in any day in general, like those lines are crazy. So yeah, that was very beautiful. And then let me see, I have my little post-it note, so I have about like 3 more things, and good, because I'm finishing up my makeup. So after that, we'll talk about this dream that I had. I don't know if I've talked about this dream on here before, but I'll talk about it because it fits this video. I actually don't think I've talked about it, but there was this time, right? Usually like times that I need a little bit extra encouragement or just a little bit more strength, I pray a little bit, and you know, otherwise I do pray to give thanks and stuff. But oh, my internet is down. I just got a text. Well, it doesn't affect this moment. So so I talked to God, whatever. I talked to him, I thank him, but then this particular time I really needed something. I needed something more, and so I spoke to him about that, and I was like, hey God, like I need to see something, I need to feel something, like I need to make sure that you're there listening to me. I go to sleep, whatever. That same night, I have an insane dream, and I will never shut up about this dream because I literally met God in my dream. And also, I've seen this thing that says that when you go to sleep, you go to different dimensions. And honestly, that day I went to a different dimension. Like, I literally felt it. So when I walked in, it was like almost like as if you're walking into heaven. That's exactly what it felt like. It was almost like you're walking into heaven, and I walk in and everything was white, and then I see feet, but it wasn't like, I think I saw like calves. I don't remember, but it was just like I felt the presence more than anything. Like, it was literally just like, let's say if I was only able to see this out of like the screen, and it was just like legs. It wasn't even like from the hip up. It was just legs, like the feet or the calf or something. And I think he had on like white pants. And he goes like, Maria, I'm gonna show you something. And I knew it was God. You just feel it. Like I was in awe. I'm just like I'm really where I think I am. And he goes, Maria, I'm gonna show you something. And he takes me in this room. It's an all white room. Everything around me is light. It's all light. It's all light. And he didn't tell me verbally, but it was like telepathy. And he goes like, just sit here, like just witness this, right? And I had full trust. Oh my God, I get goosebumps talking about it, guys. Like, this is an insane story. So I'm in that room. It's all white. Everything's closed. He left at this point. He left the room, and he kind of just goes like, Maria, feel this. Like, Maria, sit here, right? Like, that was what was implied in the energy. He didn't verbally tell me this. So I'm in the room, and it's first person. Like, I am there. My ring light is broken, guys. Forget it. It doesn't matter. We'll do it without the ring light. Oh, it got so much darker instantly, though. Let me turn on the other light. So I'm in this room full of light. And I just sit there, and it was just, all I remember experiencing was just love. Like, it was just pure raw love. Like, I sat there and I closed my eyes, and I can still like feel the emotion right now. It was just light everywhere, and it just felt love. Like, I just felt so fulfilled and like happy, and it was just an insane feeling. Like, if you can think of love compacted into one room and just all of it poured into you, all of it, it was insane. Like, at one moment I sat there and I absorbed it all, and I was like, wow, like, this is what it's supposed to feel like. And then I remember just like, oh my God, I'm literally about to cry. And I remember like crying because it was such an intense, I didn't think I was gonna cry, what the fuck. It was such an intense emotion of just pure raw love. And I just started crying. Like, it was so healing to me. It wasn't crying like, oh my God, I'm so sad. It was like, oh my God, like, this is so intense. Like, this is so beautiful. It was like this is so beautiful kind of cry. So I'm crying, bawling my eyes out. And then that's it. Like, it kind of like snaps me out of it, and it goes like, and then I wake up and I'm bawling my eyes out. And I remember I bawled my eyes out for like 10-15 minutes. Like, what did I just witness? Like that was such an insane moment for me. Like, that was so beautiful. And so that is what I work for every single day of my life, to just kind of feel that love in this realm. And so I recreate that within the way I treat people, within the way I am. And luckily I got the chance to be able to witness that kind of love. Oh my God, the lighting kind of sucks. So that was that dream. That dream was crazy, insane. I'm super thankful for it. And that was just so beautiful. Wow. That was a very beautiful dream. Thank you, God. You see, that was one of those days that I needed God to prove himself, and he did it yet again. Oh my God. That was a beautiful, beautiful moment. I'll always remember it. It was an insane feeling. And okay, so after that, I have 2 more stories. What time is it? Okay, so there was another story of, so I had this assistant manager job, and it was like a decent paying job. It was a good position, it was a good location, but just something about it, like, that was going to be my career, right? Because it was a big corporation, like, I could grow within the company, and they promised me that, and there was room for growth, and there was room for growing within the company. But long story short, it's a really long story. But long story short, the other managers that I trained were taking away money from the back of the house, meaning like the dishwashers, the sushi helpers, the line cooks. So anybody who got tipped out by the servers, they were taking away money from them in the sense that they were friends with the servers. And so the servers would have to tip out the house. And because they were friends with the servers, there would be days where the servers wouldn't make that much money. And they would be like, oh, you know what? Yeah, it's okay. Just keep all the money to yourself. You don't have to tip out the house. No. So I spoke up about that. And that was a very big morally incorrect thing for me. I was like, no, you guys can't do that. And then I remember the last straw was when they were like, Maria, it's only $5. And I was like, yeah, it's only $5 to you and to your server friend, but it's not just $5 to the dishwasher and to the line cook. Like, are you kidding me? Who are you to say, oh, it's only $5? If it's only $5, then give it to them, right? So I had a huge problem. I got the CEO involved. I got literally everybody who I could. I got them involved. And then I remember my boss at the time, he worked in California. And he called me from California and he goes, Maria, like, please just relax, stay calm. And I'm going to go tomorrow and we'll talk about it. And I was like, well, what is there to talk about? Like, they're going to continue doing this. Not the first time. It's like the third or fifth time. Because at that point, I was just so fed up with them not listening to me and with them just being unfair. So he's on the phone talking to me and he's like, Maria, please calm down, whatever. And then at that point, I'm literally so pissed. I'm like almost crying. And I'm just there and I'm like, God, give me a sign. Like, if I am not meant to be here and grow within this company, give me a sign, because I can't continue myself in this position for much longer. Like, I'm not a judge. Like, I don't come here to tell you to be a good person. Like, you should naturally be doing that, and you should be doing your job. And your job is not to rob other people of their money, right? I mean, no, I'm not tripping. Like, that's crazy. So, I asked God for a sign, and then fortunately enough, a week before, I had one of my old bosses text me, hey Maria, we miss you. We're looking for somebody and we would love it if you could come fill in that position. I was like, honestly, in this, okay, I look like a little clown, but let me blend. And I was like, oh, I'll let you know if I find somebody right now, you know. I was like, I was in this really good job that I thought, and I was like, oh, right now I'm okay, but I'll keep an eye out in case that I do know anybody. So this was a week before this whole thing happened. So I keep that in mind as I'm like, God, please give me a sign. I'm like, oh, well, I remember last week, my old boss had texted me that she really wanted me back. And I kept it in the back of my head, right? So I go outside, I take a breather, and I'm going by a table, right? Because it looks messy. And I'm in my head, I'm like, why is this table messy? Like, what's going on here? And then I look under the table, and there is a bunch of white feathers. And for the people who know me, know that white feathers are like my angels. If I see one white feather, it's like I'm on the right track, you know? Even just one. Like, that's my interpretation of white feathers is like, that's an angel. So it's an angel in that moment at that time. So in that certain time and place, I was like, God, give me a sign. Like, should I leave? Should I not? Like, I really want to leave. Like, please tell me what I do. Like, you know, where are you? Like, do I have your support? I'm in that table. Like, there were so many white feathers that, like, it's just everywhere on the floor. And I even looked around, like, did a bird die? Like, where did these white feathers come from? Like, so many. And I just looked at it, and I was still on the phone. With my boss from California. Maria, please calm down. Don't worry about it. Like, talk to me. And I was so fed up of re-explaining the same story and about how they were wrong that I was just like, you know what? Don't worry about it. It's okay. And I hung up. And I signed my resignation paper and I left. And then the other bosses, the ones that were robbing the servers, they were like, no, Maria, please. Like, what are you doing? Let's talk about this. And I was like, there's nothing to talk about. Like, you guys are always going to do this. You guys are always going to continue doing this. And I didn't say this because I don't want to humiliate anybody. But in my head, I was like, you guys need this job more than I do. And I am not going to leave you guys without a job so that I'm here comfortably. I was like, I'd rather go be uncomfortable, grow, and you guys can stay here. Like, I'm good. Also, another story is that they also didn't have papers, so it was hard for them to find a job. For me, I do have papers, and I was blessed enough at the time to be living with my parents. So honestly, I didn't even need the job. Like, I was just there because, you know, of course I need to have a job and it was good to grow within the company, but I didn't need to be there. They needed to be there to pay their bills. They didn't have any kids, but you know, to pay their bills. They're whole adults, so I didn't have to be there. And when the boss called me to tell me like, Maria, why did you leave? Like, I would have rather like, because my job was the first manager there, and they were like, Maria, we would have rather like fired all the other managers and kept you. And I was like, honestly, they need the job more than I do. Like, just train them better and have them do better, and maybe just supervise them so that they don't rob other people, because that's, I mean, that's crazy. That's the people that you trust with your money for your company, with your employees. No, I'm sorry, that's crazy. So, sorry, I gave you guys the whole story of where I left, but the moral of that story is the white feathers. Like, the white feathers were literally God in that moment telling, like, Maria, you have our full support. And ever since I left, I have been so happy. And even my new job, like, I mean, knock on wood, but my new job is literally perfect. Like, it just suits me so well. Like, I am making more money by doing less and working less hours. Like, the whole thing was just so amazing. It was really God telling me, like, hey Maria, it's time, and like, this is what it took for you to leave, and this is what it took for them to act right. Because if I wouldn't have left that way, they would probably still be stealing the tips. I mean, God forbid, I don't know if they're still doing it, but hopefully they're not. I would hope that they're not, but if it wasn't for that, they would probably still be stealing. I would still be there unhappy, working my ass off for nothing. So thank God that I got that little like push of encouragement, because if not, I would have stuck that out a little longer, to be honest with you. Like, if I hadn't seen that abundance of white feathers, I would have, I would have definitely stayed until like something else happened, or until like I would have got a sign, you know, that it was time for me to go. Because I am also very loyal to my employers, and I didn't want to leave just like that, but the situation called for it, and to be honest, it was the best thing that could have happened. So yes, there's that story. And then I will end you guys with one of the craziest stories, and it's perfect because I'm done with my makeup. Well, almost. I just have my lips. So this is one of the craziest stories, and I have a little proof of it. So when my ex and I broke up, I was doing a release ritual, and it was full moon, and long story short, I had this last love letter of his, and it was about like this big, I would say. Yeah, it was about this big. It wasn't a love letter, it was just like a cute love, it was just a cute letter filled with love. It was just like, oh Maria, like, I saw you were sleeping peacefully, so I don't want to wake you. I left you some cash for breakfast, it was all I had. And then it said something like, it just said a few more things, like, oh, I hope, because I was having like leg cramps that night, and so he goes like, oh, I hope that your leg cramps are feeling better, let me know. And then he put something about him like, oh, I am feeling better myself, because he wasn't feeling so good. It was a decently sized letter with decent information. That's where I'm trying to get. And then the end, it said, P.S. I love you, and sorry for the bad handwriting, I'm in a rush, right? So I get that letter. It's the last letter that I have of his, and it's full moon, and I'm outside, and I have my little rose quartz bowl. And so usually with when I'm releasing, I use fire to release. So I have my lighter, and I grab the letter and I light it on fire, and then I put it in the rose quartz bowl. And then, oh sorry, I forgot to say a very important part. Before I put it in the rose quartz bowl, I hold it up to my heart. So I hold it up to my heart, and I talk to God, and I'm like, God, I love you. Like, please show me that I'm doing the right thing. I love you, I love you, I love you. And then I just remember, like, just holding it and just like closing my eyes and like just letting the full moon just beam on me as I'm just like, I love you, God, I love you. And I said I love you like 50 times, no joke. I literally said I love you like 50 times, just back to back. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. To God and to universe, like, I love you for giving me the strength, like, I love you for guiding me. You know, it was like an I love you type of day, showing my appreciation. And I burned the letter. So I grab the letter, I burn it. The ashes are in the rose quartz bowl. And I never do this, and I do these release rituals quite often, like once every few full moons, you know? And I never do this. But this time, I was like, I have to make sure that this is fully over. I am going to use the back of the lighter. I'm like reliving the moment because I'm looking out my balcony, and that's exactly where I did it. So I get the rose quartz bowl and I use the back of the lighter, and I'm like, I just have to make sure like this chapter is over. And so I just have to like, just even the ashes, like I just had to make sure that the ashes were like all ashes. So I go like this, smashing all the ashes, and there's a piece of paper that survived. It was about this big. And in my heart, like it almost sank, because I knew that that was gonna be a message. Like I knew. And when I first saw the paper, it was backwards, so it had no writing on it, you know? So at first it just looked like, oh, like a random piece of paper survived, right? It just looks like a random piece of paper survived. And I grab it, and I knew deep in my heart that it said something. Of course it says something. So I grab the paper and I flip it, and it's literally the part of the whole entire letter. Mind you, this letter was this big, and it says, I love you. Guys, it's not even like love you, it's not even like I love, it's literally the perfect I love you. It's the whole entire phrase. Like, it really survived. I still look at this and it just gives me like an insane feeling. Like, I feel like this has been the one time, at least to my knowledge, that God has spoken to me with actual words. Like, guys, out of the whole letter, the whole entire I love you phrase survives. And the fact that I looked through the ashes, I never looked through those ashes ever. And this time I was just like, oh, like I have to make sure, like, let me just, you know, smash the ashes. And then, like, I don't know. But that was honestly one of the most, I mean, they've all been insane, but that was one of the most recent, and that was definitely one of the most insane, like, times that God has communicated with me, especially through actual words. I'm still shook to my core, and I will keep that paper forever for the rest of my life, because, I mean, wow, that was, I'm just looking at it and I'm just in awe. I am speechless. And so I will end this video with saying that if you just talk to God and you communicate with him and you build a relationship with him, whenever you need him, he will be there. Even when you don't need him, he will be there, because he is always there, and he's always listening and supporting you and guiding you, because he wants you to win and he wants you to elevate your soul so that your soul moves forward. So all you have to do is have trust in him and count on him. And yeah, so this is just a few times that I knew God was real, but I know that God is real every day, and that he watches out for me and my loved ones. And this is also the finished look. I know the light broke, so we didn't have such good lighting, but we made the best with what we had. And this is the final look. So yeah, we will talk soon.